Welcome to Growing Together, the podcast where ambition meets authenticity.
Join us, Charlotte and Billy, two best friends with 20 years of history, as we navigate motherhood, business, and everything in between.
From the daily chaos to balancing work and family to the challenges and milestones that shape our lives, we're here to share it all, unfiltered and straight from the heart.
So grab a cuppa, get comfortable, and get ready for real conversations, relatable stories, and a whole lot of laughter.
Because life's not about having it all figured out. It's about growing together. Let's dive in. Cool. Welcome back.
Hi.
Episode 2.
Let's go.
So I thought we'd continue on with getting to know us.
Yeah.
So we give everyone a little bit of a backstory, kind of what led us to be in Spain, how we met. So I've got some questions that should lead us to some more answers about childhood and how we got on and things like that. So first one for you.
Let's go. Oh, I don't feel nervous. It's like an interview, being interview. It's only about myself, and I don't know anything.
Yeah, I could have these questions on a nice little iPad, but I like pen and paper.
You do.
We do like a pen and paper, don't we?
You're a list girl on a paper.
Might be married to a tech guy, but I'm a paper girl.
I'm the same. My diary's paper, but
Okay, so how would you describe yourself as a kid?
oh, kid. Oh, I mean, I might just describe myself different to what my mum or my dad or my brother may have.
Probably, but how would you describe yourself?
I'd say I was energetic, fun, positive. I probably had a few strops,
No
here
doubt.
and there.
Were you the youngest? So
But
definitely.
yeah, I am the youngest, so yeah, tried to get my own way. I knew that much. Loved my hobbies, so dance, horse riding. That was a really big part of my life when I was younger, and having my parents help me with that. So yeah, that was that side. But yeah, that was me as a kid. Fun, bubbly, up for anything, always playing out.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that was our generation, to be honest with you. But yeah, if I was always playing out, always out doing stuff, wanted to be involved in everything. Loved to do dance shows to any friend or family member that would be forced to watch over and over.
I used to do that as well. We used to, like, if we were at my nan and granddad's, this is when we used to go on holiday to Spain before we got dragged over there. But yeah, like my mum and dad would be my nan and granddad, and they'd be, obviously, we'd had dinner, barbecues, whatever, and they'd be drinking and stuff. And then me, Connor, and Rick would go, and then I'd do this whole big show thing, and then it would take us hours. Then we'd perform it at the end.
Yeah, me the same. The only one who would actually really go on, my babe, you do it again was my nan. Everyone shush. If anyone blinked, breathed, anything, doing it again, I'm fine again.
Number one fact.
But yeah, that's me describing me as a kid. I think I would say. Sure, other people might say different.
Yeah, no, I'd say that could probably sum you up. Obviously, more so when you was younger. But yeah.
Yeah, I think I see a lot of me in my daughter, Lexi.
Isn't it funny how kids can be so much like us?
Yeah.
But they didn't know us at that age.
Yeah, I think I can see a lot of me in her anyway. Or I hope that's who I think I was like. Because I love her.
She is who I could picture how you
I
like
think
she's confident, she's sassy, she knows what she wants, she sticks up for herself.
She may have been a little bit more confident than me, I think. Or she is a little bit more, I think.
And she's the youngest as well.
Yeah.
With brothers.
Yeah. So I would that's how I describe myself, I'd say. So I think I was a nasty little girl. Just doesn't go into a teenager, maybe.
Joking. All right. Everyone runs through teenage years, but what was I like? So I think I was a bit similar, but I'd say I was. It's weird because I describe myself a bit bipolar, not in the sense of like up and down, but like probably more split personality. I was very confident. I wanted to be on stage. I wanted to be the main part, and I liked drama, dance, and all those things as well. But then the other side of me was very would doubt myself, would be unsure, would be a bit introverted. So like, I have both sides.
You want to do it. You really want to do it, but sometimes you just couldn't do it.
Yeah, and I always force myself to do things, to be honest. I think I've always been good at that, to be fair. And I've continued to do that even now. Whenever I'm uncomfortable, I just go for it anyway. So a lot of the time, I kind of got that like composure and go, and even though I'm super uncomfortable, I'd still do things. And you can't really tell a lot of the time. People sometimes can not misunderstand me, but think maybe I'm more confident than I am or anything like that. But I definitely had that as a kid. But then I think my kind of overthinking and, doubt and like wanting to do really well has what drove me to do
So,
well
yeah, exactly.
by like
I think
having
coming
that
out of
like uncertainty and like not ever wanting to do anything wrong or not be good at anything. I was very competitive, like you say, same as you. Loved hobbies. I was always doing something. I did kind of flip flop into like every different hobby you can
yeah,
think of. Um, I'd stuck at gymnastics for a while. Um, dance a little bit. I more so did that when kind of we met more. When we were doing
yeah.
like the performances at school and stuff. But as a kid, yeah, gymnastics. Yeah, I did do like hip hop classes and stuff.
I did a lot of
Um,
classes following my brother, thinking that's what I wanted to do, like karate. I want to do
yeah.
karate.
To be fair, karate and stuff I did for a long time. And I kind of went through that quite quickly. I was always doing like when they do like demonstrations and stuff, but because I was the smallest, I was the one that everyone would like throw. And I used to remember having like bruised ribs all the time. I think that's probably why I quit, but I liked
Just get
I
bigger
liked
first.
doing that because it like I like to feel like strong.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I
I did
thought I
all
was. I don't know
different
how,
sports.
but
I did hockey, I did football, I did netball, like yeah, sports every
yeah.
day of the week as well. So very sporty growing up. But yeah, very competitive. Um, well, I was the oldest, so I feel like I was always responsible, always did well, always tried to do well.
hmm Like you say, you've put more like you had that responsibility because you were the
Yeah,
oldest to give that example,
yeah, I
if
think
anything,
so.
and you tried
Yeah.
to use
Even
that
without
and have it as
realizing, I don't think you realize it as a kid. Everyone always goes, "Oh, yeah, you're the oldest. They're looking up to you." But I didn't feel that pressure, but I obviously did have that
Well, I wouldn't
pressure.
know because I was the youngest. So
Yeah. Yeah. So I think quite
didn't
similar
care
to
about
my
anyone else.
mum because my mum was the oldest of 6 as well. So I feel like we're quite similar in that way, like very thoughtful and
Mm.
stuff
Yeah.
as well. But yeah, sporty, fun, outgoing. But yeah, also things that I think I had to overcome and push myself through.
Yeah.
I think I was, yeah, probably like that a bit too young, like overthinking
Yeah.
things and stuff like that. I think that
See, I
normally
wasn't.
you get that when you're older.
Yeah, see, I like you say, I didn't have any of that. I
Yeah.
just did my own thing, did what I
Yeah.
want, thought everyone was there waiting for me to do pick me up, drop me off, answer to this, answer to that. Yeah, I was completely great childhood,
Yeah,
but just
no,
priding myself
definitely.
as a child.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Even
I didn't think like that. I didn't think
yeah.
that I had anyone to worry about or not worry
Mm,
about, but like be
yeah.
at all subconsciously or not. Just
Yeah,
it
and
was
it's
all
weird
about
because
me.
I don't remember, like I say, I don't feel like the pressure came from anywhere. Like even like doing well in school, like exams or things like that, I definitely put a lot of pressure on myself to do well. And like, not that my mum didn't care, but she never made out like, oh, you've got to do well. Like,
Yeah,
she
yeah, yeah.
always wanted us to do well, but I wouldn't like,
Yeah, she's
I'd
quite
sit
a
down.
chilled parent when it
Yeah.
comes to things like
Yeah. And especially like even trying to pick what subjects to go to do at college. She remember getting in a right stage. She was like,
yeah,
What are you doing that
yeah, yeah,
for?
yeah.
So yeah, I never had the pressure to do well. But I don't know where that really comes
It's
from.
important, but it's not worth
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that.
But even from a young kid, like wanting to, finish first place, wanting to do the
Yeah,
best, wanting to have even just have all the answers.
yeah,
Like I think
yeah, yeah,
I've always just wanted to be the
yeah.
best. I've had that drive since I was little, but I don't know where it comes from.
It's
But
not a bad trait.
no, I think it's part of what makes me successful.
Yeah,
But I think
but that the knock on effect of that is having them feelings
is having
sometimes
a
and
little
learning
bit
to
of
control that.
exactly. And I feel like I've got better at that as I got older, for
Mm.
sure.
Mm. Yeah, I think we all do in certain
Yeah,
things, whether it's
yeah,
parenthood, work,
yeah.
whatever. Do you know what I mean? In the house,
Yeah.
anything.
But
It's
yeah.
okay.
So that was us as kids. How do your family influence your view on work, success, and relationships?
Oh,
So how have they shaped how you think about it, do you think?
um, support me in anything. That sums it up. To
Yeah.
be quite honest with you, literally support me in anything. Yeah, going on my parents, I'd say
Mm.
they'd give it to me. They'd probably give me the same advice in very different ways.
Okay.
My dad is very calm and goes over everything, and my mum's very straight to the point and which the
Yeah.
combined thing is quite good, to be fair, which
Yeah.
really sums up my personality in a way. And the same going on, whether it was back then, whether it was my grandparents or my siblings or my cousins or my aunties, uncles, whoever was, whatever it was for, whether it was, I don't know, a dance show or a whatever,
Yeah.
work, having children, relationships.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'd give advice and opinion, um, but always support no matter what.
Yeah.
Always have my back no matter what,
Yeah.
and never judge, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But going forward, my own family at home are the same. My partner, my children, we're all very supportive of each other. We can give an opinion,
Yeah.
or advice on how we feel about whatever.
Yeah.
But any generally, I've got your back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. That's quite a straight answer. I think that's quite an easy answer for me. I've never in doubt that and from my parents to my second cousins. Do you know what I mean? Literally, we've all got each other, defo. Cool. What about you?
Yeah, I'd say mom and dad are definitely massive influences out of everybody. I was really close with my nan and granddad growing up. Because obviously my one of my aunties and uncle were only a couple of years different, so we kind of grew up together. So I'd spend a lot of time there. And yeah, they would have influenced me for sure. But I'd say the biggest would be my mom and dad. Yeah, like I say, always supportive. I feel like we've always had a good, close relationship. I've always been able to have conversations, probably more so than some of my friends with their parents.
Me.
Yeah, true.
Literally
You and
me.
Sean have kind of both said that
Yeah.
you like the relationship that I've got
Yeah.
with my mum.
Although I'm a lot closer with my mum now.
I'd say you butted heads as teenagers,
Yes,
but you're
that
close.
was more me because of how I was. But yeah.
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 So yeah, she, like I say, always advice. Sometimes too much advice.
Yeah.
But not too much advice. I think because she just doesn't want us to ever go through any hard times. So it's like if she can foresee stuff, and she's pretty good at foreseeing things that are going to happen and how they're going to roll out.
And she'll literally say it as it comes.
Yeah,
to her, won't she?
Obviously, growing up, sometimes you don't have that vision or you don't see how things are going to play out. So it must be really hard. Now I'm a mum. I'm a mum. I get it.
You do understand things.
You
more.
understand.
I remember. I think we say this every time we talk
Yeah.
about anything. But I remember the one advice your mum gave me when I had my first, so young, is that it's not now you've got to worry.
Yeah.
It's when they're older. And I really didn't get it at the
Yeah.
time. So I was like, how? You've got this baby, and they grow. You've got to do
You
this.
think the baby stage is hard?
She was right.
Yeah.
She was definitely right. And although I'm only one,
Yeah.
cut to that only, we're not even there yet. Do you know what I mean? But it's starting to make sense. Completely.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'll never forget that advice.
When you've got little kids, like you worry a lot and you think a lot, but actually they're just happy. They just love you. They just, they don't need for much or want much. They don't have any emotional upset or anything. But as kids get bigger, then it's like bullies. It's struggling at school. It's relationship. Like I can't.
It's their own making their own decisions and letting them go. I hate that thing, but it is letting them.
Well, that's what I think. My mum probably struggled a little bit with is like letting us make our own mistakes. She didn't want us to make our own mistakes, which I totally get, because if you can stop someone going through something, especially if it's tough, and it's hard to see that, but sometimes you just have to do it. And obviously, I take her word a lot. I think I like soundboard off her a lot.
So I think I ignored a lot of my advice that was given to me. I just didn't even probably listen to it. I'm sure I was given loads, but I knew best.
Yeah,
seriously.
As you were younger, for sure, you were very headstrong.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
But no, I think, and obviously, growing up, my granddad was very like entrepreneurial. Always was doing something, and then again, she's been quite similar. Always kind of worked for herself and stuff. So I think she really drilled into us, do well at school so that you can get a stable job. I think because she had very, not unstable, but like, obviously whenever you work for yourself, you know what it's like now, like money's never predictable.
No.
So that must be quite hard when you've got a family to support, to have, you don't know.
It's a lot easier to understand all of that now, isn't it?
For
So
sure. Well, I
where
said it
we are
even on
now.
the last episode, you don't appreciate your parents until
Yeah,
you're older.
yeah.
So, I mean, seeing what they went through and going, like, say, working for themselves and doing all of that, I don't know how they would have coped with
Mm.
4 young kids. And like I say, we had a great childhood. We went on great holidays. We went to private school. We had
Yeah.
a big house. Like,
Yeah, I definitely would say
they
they
definitely pulled it off. I don't know
yeah, that
how.
would be my answer to that
But
is
I think she definitely worries a lot,
Mhm.
and obviously wanted us to get stable jobs and stuff. So I feel like sometimes I don't take the biggest risks because I think
Mhm.
I'm very responsible as well.
Mhm.
But then having said that, they told us not to move back to Spain and we did.
Yeah.
So
I think we may all do, but my opinion on how what you probably go in a full circle and you
yeah.
overthink it, you don't
Yeah.
want to do it, then you'll do it because that's what you do. You push yourself to do it,
Mm.
achieve, and then
Yeah.
again onto the next step and a higher, bigger challenge
Yeah.
on something else,
Yeah.
and then the same thing again. You'll overthink it, and
Yeah.
then you'll push yourself to do it, and you'll do it,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. I'm not
literally,
very impulsive.
but you'll still get it done.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Does that make sense in what I'm trying to say and how
yeah. Yeah. Like I say, I think I
you get to where you
definitely
are?
listen, take things in. Generally, I think I come to my own conclusion. Especially as I've got older, I trust myself more. Obviously, the more you do things and the
Yeah.
more you achieve, especially when it's something hard, the more you kind of believe in yourself and you can go on. But yeah, no, I think your parents obviously really do shape who you are.
Mm. Everything surrounding it
Mm.
of what you do every day. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
And like I say, I really enjoyed my childhood. I think we had a really good balance
I
of
loved my childhood.
like we had everything. We
Yeah.
had some great experiences, great memories, and even like becoming a teenager, I feel like I was given some leeway, but also don't take the piss.
That's probably why I felt so you're ruining my life when they said we were moving to Spain because I was like, everything is perfect. Why would you want
Why
to move
mess it
there?
up?
Yeah. And again, looking back,
Yeah.
best thing they ever did for me.
Yeah.
Like, my
Yeah.
experience of being here and
To be
a lot of ups and
yeah.
downs still as life gives you.
Yeah.
But generally, I'm so glad that they
I mean,
made me
fair
love
play,
it.
really, because like I say, the first few years must have been really hard because at that point, there was a lot of English people moving here, but like think about like the supermarkets. We had no English products. Everything was in Spanish. Not many people really spoke
Yeah.
English.
I think maybe, well, in other terms of how parents would look at it, it
Yeah.
was probably the best time to bring us over, whether that was
Mm.
financially or
Yeah.
whatever. Do you know what I mean? But for us, it was like,
Yeah.
what
But then
on earth is going
imagine
on?
you dragging your kids to another country and like Mason kicking off like you did, like hate
I'd-
it. To actually stick through that, knowing that it's going to get better,
yeah.
like that must have been really
Yeah,
hard.
I don't know how they stuck with it to then know that it was going to be.
Well, they probably didn't know.
Well, no, they didn't know. They probably
know.
know.
Do you know
That's
what
what
it
I
was
mean.
going to
To
be
even not
okay?
know, it's even worse, isn't
Yeah.
it? You're like, yeah.
But
I
yeah,
feel bad when I say no. He can't have something late at night because it's late. Do you know what I mean? Let alone if he would get that upset over
yeah.
obviously moving his life.
But yeah, no, like I say, it's best thing ever because
Yeah, best thing ever. Best thing ever.
I look
Yeah.
at people like that I knew at school back in England, and there is a lot of people that never left their hometown, and it's like we probably have that confidence now because we are used to going into environments that we don't know anyone, and
Yeah.
I think it gives us a good bit of character building to start in a new country.
Well, literally, I was taken from my perfect little life of my hobbies and, like you say, doing so much. We used to go camping every year with big group of people that we
Yeah.
would see every weekend, and
Yeah,
who are
we had a
still in.
huge family as well.
You know,
Yeah.
even now, you know what I mean. Their memories forever. Yeah, and then literally picking up the log was picked up and just dropped in the middle of
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, the best thing ever. And going back to the question, it's the same thing. Support, got you back.
Yeah.
Probably wasn't easy many times from
Yeah.
child up to teenager, moving here, everything in
Yeah.
between. But
Just glad they did.
yeah,
Like I say, we wouldn't have met our husband and husband to be. We wouldn't have the kids that we
everything and
have.
everything,
It's mad to think about it
how
like
different
that.
it would be,
Yeah.
you know.
And we obviously left. We went back to England for 5 years and then we come back again. Yeah. Even that decision, which obviously at the time was against advice from our parents to come back.
They still supported you.
Yeah, totally.
And made everything.
Yeah.
You know, when you were there.
Yeah. Exactly. But I think that's something that I'll try to do is just advice, guide, but ultimately you do kind
Well,
of
yeah,
have to go through it
I
yourself.
think I say that a lot. I don't know whether even it's to my mates when we're talking about something in general
Yeah.
or the kids or
Yeah.
whatever. It's an opinion, okay? It
Yeah.
doesn't mean I'm right. I'm just telling you my opinion.
Yeah.
And then I'll say whatever
Yeah.
that is. But it's up to whoever it is. You
Yeah.
know? Like I
It's
think I
hard.
do.
I think even with friends though, like when you can see like you're trying to give advice because you want them to like either do something different or be better or get out of something. Like it's really hard to give advice
But at the same time, it's
and
not
then
your
someone
life,
not
is it?
take it,
You
but then
know?
you do have to kind of at one point
It's
just be
not your
like,
life. So it's you can only
that's
give
it.
that opinion and think,
Yeah.
okay, well, when people give me their advice and I don't agree with it,
Exactly.
then I can say, well, that's your
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah.
And
We're all
you might
different.
be right, might be wrong on it, but
Mhm.
I might listen to it, I might not.
At the end of the
Take
day,
it
you
or
either
leave it.
learn from it or, you know, if it goes wrong, then
Exactly.
you still learn from it, don't you? So
Yes, that's a lot of what my mum and dad had to go through. Yeah, basically, probably tell them loads of things that they knew was best for me, and I just was like, no, I'm all right,
yeah,
thanks.
definitely.
But they never give up.
Ooh, something from your past that you've had to unlearn.
Something from my past that I've had to unlearn.
So like something that you kind of grew up thinking was right or that's the way, and then you've had to like kind of get away from it or unlearn it.
Okay. Oh, this is gonna I'm gonna say probably religion. It's the
Okay.
only thing that first came into my head.
Yeah, go with it. Go with it.
Because I still don't know how I feel about it. Do you get what I mean? But I was brought up, I went to a Church of England school. I loved going to church. It was, but it doesn't mean I understood the concept of what I was or believed. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So that and my nan was quite religious. I mean, we didn't go to church every Sunday or that, but I did go to a Church of England school and
Mhm.
I was christened and my boys are christened.
Yeah, yeah.
Lexi isn't. This is what I mean. This is where I've kind of, I still talk about that she's got godparents and stuff, but it's just not even real, is it? Because it's,
It's not official.
So to the answer to that question, I'd probably say that because I've probably grown up most of my life with talking about these things as if I believe. But actually,
because it was like something that you just
but
learned.
just because it was,
You didn't question it.
no,
It was just passed on to
yeah.
you. Yeah.
And I like the stories, probably. Do you get? I know that sounds really probably silly, but
Well, I think that's most religions.
And
kids don't choose their
yeah,
religion.
but now I'm like,
it's passed on.
I don't know, but because I'm a bit more of a I'll believe it when I see it kind of a thing.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Well, I've
I
heard
don't-
you say a few times to your kids, like, ask questions, question things.
yeah,
So
question everything.
obviously, as you've got older,
Yeah. It's like, well, how? Always, let's try.
Yeah.
Sometimes I forget what advice I give. But yeah, question everything, and that's like you say, that's probably more. I'm like, I don't really get the answer to that.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to me for me. So probably and learn. I don't know if I learn anything, but
Well, you obviously carried on them stories and
Yeah.
grew up in it, and then at some point was kind of stepping back from it.
yeah. And sometimes we say stuff like, "Oh, please God." Do I mean that? As in,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? So
That's true.
it's one of them, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I can't.
And sometimes I do it. Sometimes I'll be like, "Oh, please," I won't say amen,
Yeah.
whatever, amen, or
You still say God.
I will
please
still
God.
say like, or when you
Thank God.
yeah, so it's really hard
Yeah.
to expand on, but just thinking impulsive of the
Yeah.
answer,
Yeah.
that's the first thing that came into my head of
Yeah.
learning.
Yeah, no, I think I relate to that a little bit because, yeah, I've got a lot of Irish in my family.
Yeah.
And they tend to be quite religious. And my nan used to go to church on a Sunday. Whenever I'd stay at hers on the weekend, I went quite a lot. I did my Holy Communion, Catholic. Yeah, like I say, as a kid, it was kind of just for fun.
Well, that's what I mean. I was at school. So
Yeah.
I just went to school and then I went
Well,
and sang the songs.
And as the, the hymns and
the
things.
best.
And as the kids, like we only sat in part of the Sunday service thing, and then we used to go into like a room and then we'd like colour and be with other kids, and then you come back. So I think we were there for some of the songs and stuff, but I guess the preachy bit, or I don't know what they did when we left, to be honest.
I didn't go on a Sunday, but I just went in school on a Wednesday or whatever it was.
So I went to a Catholic school at some point, not all my schools, but at one point I did go to a Catholic school.
That was one thing I did question. Why are they going to get the front and they get something in their hand and a drink and I don't get to go and get the
I think that's one of the only reasons why I did my communion, because I was like, I wanted to do that. And I think I only did it once.
So then again, I still didn't understand. I just knew I wanted to go to the front and
Yeah.
do whatever they were doing, you know, which is, you know, no disrespect.
Yeah.
It was just that's.
I think, again, it's quite generational. I think like it got passed down and passed down, and then it was like our generation that kind of those traditions maybe filtered out a little bit. But yeah,
Because there is still a lot of people who.
yeah, I wouldn't say I believe in,
but that's the answer to that for me.
yeah, I wouldn't say I really believe in religion stuff. I think it
is there anything else
sometimes a bit far-fetched. Something I had to unlearn. Unlearn something I'm unlearning, which I wouldn't say I'm completely there yet.
Yeah,
is exchanging time for money.
Okay, I don't understand what you were trying to say then.
So I think, like you say, growing up, it's like you get educated, you go get your job, you have your career, and then that's it. And I think now that there's just so many different opportunities of different things you can do that you don't always have to do it in the traditional way anymore. And like, you know, in my head, I always thought I was going to have a career and I was just going to advance in that career and work my way to the top. But kind of I kind of have done that to a degree.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, obviously wanting to do coaching and stuff on the side, I want to have my own thing as well as maybe do the career side as well. But exchanging time for money, so like the more you work, the more you get paid, but that's not necessarily true.
No.
I think it's understanding that the more value you bring, the more you get paid.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you don't work. You
still have to work hard.
That
it's not the working hard, but it's the time
given to you.
Yeah.
But like you say, if you've got that drive and you've got that thing, but ultimately, you know,
because you could work your ass off for a company for 50 years. But then you can have someone half your age earning more money than you. So it's not always time for money.
Yeah.
Like it's value that you bring. And I think that's something I've maybe had to unlearn a bit, because obviously we grew up with you work, the more you work, the more you get paid. The harder you work, the more you get paid. Sometimes you don't have to kill yourself to work that much harder. You just have to work smarter, bring more value. And then actually that equates sometimes. And again, I think because I've grown up so ambitious and driven and like always had this vision of like the next, like you say, once I've done one challenge, I don't relax. It's like the next one and the next one, always moving the goalposts. And
which is not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing, but you also need to appreciate how far you've come, because at one point, like what you have now is what you dreamed of having. So I have to remind myself of that, because the minute I get it, it's very difficult to actually enjoy it because I'm always thinking about the next thing.
Which is why I was adamant that I had a 4-day week.
Yeah.
Because although it's scientifically proven as well.
Yeah. So it's backing you up now.
Thank you.
But you did it for years.
Yeah. But that's what
I mean, I think that is partly what I've learned from you as well, is that it's very difficult for me to not put everything into something and to actually just.
But you can still put everything into something. You just like you say, you don't kill yourself in the process of it, because
but you're happy to essentially leave some money on the table because you've realized that your time now with the kids at the age that you have is more valuable to you than that extra day's pay.
Because I've learned that when I've earned the money and worked the time, I didn't get to do anything with it because I didn't have the time.
Yeah.
You know, and I missed out on other stuff which was even just being at home or sitting at the table together or helping with homework or whatever it was, because I was on that.
Yeah.
You know, and that had to be cut off when I left the door, and you know, or whatever. You know, in terms of that. And that's what made me learn that I can earn that later if I need to.
Well, you've always said
I'm just happy
when your kids are older, you're going to have all the time in the world.
Yeah, I'm just happy with being with them, you know, paying my bills, clothes on the back, food on the table, and, you know, that's it. You know, we get away. I mean, our favourite getaway is camping, so, you know, we could go anywhere and do anything, which we've done lovely holidays, but we've learned that
you've done Disney, you've done Lapland, you've done it all, really, but
our happiest times, our happy place is just being together.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I've learned in terms of, like you say, time and money.
Yeah. Yeah, no, so I agree. So
Yeah, me too.
kind of understanding that you can slow down a bit without feeling like you're giving up on your goals. You can still be very ambitious, driven, have things in mind, but you don't have to. Thing is, I never looked after myself while I was doing those things. So I would push myself to the brink of like burnout and stuff
Yeah.
by doing it because my jobs are corporate jobs, normally sales, normally targets, normally stressful.
And also maybe as well, it wasn't when you had a child, which you think you know what I mean? You haven't
Yeah.
got to do it, but still you've
Yeah.
got to take care.
So I
That's
mean, it was
yourself.
very easy for me to do that. And to be honest, I think I do quite enjoy the pressure and the stress of it.
Love it.
Exactly. So
But I said you go in a full
I wouldn't
circle. You literally
I
go in a
wouldn't
full
give it
circle.
up.
It's just when you're at this moment, you need to
Yeah.
remind yourself.
But then I think we said this the other day that like that was my 20s. That was for grinding. I've grinded now. And
Exactly. You can't not.
and I
It's
have
not going to come
got to the point
play,
where I'm
take that
happy
much.
and I'm really happy in what I'm doing. So now I don't feel like I have to grind to the level that I was doing before.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And there is a little bit more balance. And obviously, Kaysen's 6, so this is something I've only really done recently. I wouldn't say I even slowed down that much.
Yeah.
When I had Kaysen,
Yeah.
it's kind of retrospectively and learning that now the
Yeah.
second time
Even
round.
even you now I've got to remind
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah.
No.
And I think because, like I say, because my parents, they were always around because they always worked for themselves. So, you know, they picked us up, they dropped us off, they took us everywhere. Like they were always at home with us. I didn't have parents that weren't there.
Yeah.
Like you do normally when your parents have
Then jobs.
like when they don't work for themselves,
Yeah.
basically. So yeah, I feel like I was quite blessed in that respect. So I think I've got a really good balance now of being around. And now back from maternity leave working and I don't work Fridays.
How is it going? How are you?
Yeah, so obviously I went back in January, so we're nearly the end of January now. So yeah, do you know what? It's a really good balance because the weekends go fast anyway.
Yeah.
So on top of having a really busy week, like that extra day and having that day where Kaysen's at school for the morning, you just have a little bit of extra time to like sort yourself out and just get organized again and prepared again for Monday.
But it makes no difference to the rest of the week, does it? This is what I'm trying to say. Like you smash your week out and having a Friday off doesn't mean you've got any less work done or any, achievements done over that week. Work. It just means that you're balancing out.
I feel like I've got more energy and actually, like you say, scientifically, it makes sense. I've always been one that like works late and skips lunch and all those things anyway. That's just how I've worked, even though I'm not saying that's the right way, but that's how I've always been. Like I don't take breaks. Literally, I could sit in front of a computer screen for 4 hours. I don't get up. I don't have fag breaks. I don't, I tend to like to work in my office rather than go into our office because I don't like to be interrupted and stuff. Like I like to smash things out. So I probably get more done in 4 days than most people do in a whole week anyway. Because I'm a little bit, like say, when I get into something, then like I just in a flow and then I can get loads done. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it and it just feels like a nice balance. Otherwise, by the time your head stops spinning on a Friday, you've got the hobbies or whatever on the weekend, then it's like, oh crap, it's Monday again. And like, I don't have the energy. I don't feel like you have the time to recuperate, especially when you've got young kids. Like it's a lot of energy that you need for work and for kids. So no, I'm really loving the balance.
Yeah, I like my advice on that one. I'll say that one.
What traditions are you gonna take from your childhood and pass on to your kids?
Traditions. When you say tradition, I think of just Christmas when you say tradition.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Or anything that you enjoyed as a kid that you want to bring on. It doesn't have to be like a yearly tradition, but just.
Oh, my brother would be good at these ones. I'm rubbish at remembering stuff like this. He sent me something the other day about like a game we used to play. Well, oh, Liz, I love that. He was trying to get it for his son, but he couldn't get it. Traditions.
Well, you just said camping.
Camping, yeah. Camping was something we did with the borough lot, which was I'd probably say this wrong. I don't even know how everyone. It was just my mum and dad's friends, who, well, as far as I'm concerned, again, I'm gonna be wrong on this. Who met at the pub on a Sunday, and had kids, and all the kids were raised. And that was my life. Like I say, after the stables, my mum would pick me up. I have to go to the borough. I have to see them. The parties were the best. And again, I'm sure it was summer, we'd go camping and it was the best. Did I take mine? I don't know if I did take mine camping with them once. Maybe I dreamt it. Maybe I didn't. I can't actually remember, but I did go back. I don't know if I had kids then, actually. I'm not sure. I did go back on my own without my mum and dad when I'd moved here to do it with them. Because I just missed it so much. And I missed them and that group so much. So that tradition I keep. And also with the same kind of group of people, we would always go to again, one of the adults' house, the same adult every year on Christmas Eve, and have a big party. And Father Christmas would visit, and they would take turns in who would be dressing up as the Father Christmas who would visit that house, give gifts that all the parents had obviously put together, like we do with our Secret Santa thing.
Yeah.
I took mine back for that one year. I don't think Lucy was here. I don't know if Morgan was, but I know Mason definitely came, and Mitch.
Yeah.
And we experienced that one. Yeah, and I just loved them to see what I did as a kid.
Yeah.
And I think at the same sort of time, I took them back to where I live. We went to the park, used to play out in, and that kind of a thing. I mean, I don't think I did. I wouldn't say took my kids camping because it was my tradition, but obviously I grew up doing it. So even when I first went here, I was like, this isn't camping. Like I was used to going literally on a field.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And can't think of the area now. But yeah, it was literally on a field.
Yeah.
And you walked.
You don't
grass
have
all over the
all
toilet,
the resort
mud
stuff
and,
going on that the camping is here.
Yeah, it was the best. But so yeah, when I came and did it here, I was like, this isn't camping. Now we
still enjoy it.
Yeah, we've got water parks and spas. And that's not camping.
I know. Yeah, but
it's amazing. We've got a tent.
Yeah, you do
We
do it
book on the
properly.
barbecue.
Yeah. You could go into the cabin, but you don't need to in it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's tradition or not tradition. I don't know, but yeah, that's.
Well, we did it, didn't we? While I was pregnant.
Well, you were your first time coming with us.
First time camping in Spain, I think.
Oh, there you go.
I don't know if we did it when I was younger over here. I don't really remember. We got a camper van and we drove from here back to England one year. Yeah, but that's a little bit different.
Do it here as
but I was the same. When we'd go in England, I mean, we'd go. A lot of the time we go to places you're not even allowed to camp. It's not even officially for camping, but we'd like go into like the middle of the forest. We'd last a day or two before the ranger comes down.
That came to my head. Forest of Dean, that's where I used to go. Yeah.
But yeah, we'd go with my granddad was there, I remember. But obviously we was all like my auntie, uncle, cousins, we was all similar ages. So I remember going proper young. And yeah, we'd start off where we weren't allowed to be till the ranger came and told us to move. But yeah, like tents by like a stream, then you'd have a rope swing and literally not get changed or brush my hair for 2-3 days. Like proper camping.
Thinking like that though, Mitch showed us it the other day. Loads of people have probably seen it, like these videos that come up of that. Yeah. We were the last generation to not have this and to do this. Yeah. Most of it's probably technology, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
We had an imagination. We didn't played out or whatever.
We didn't even take toys or books or anything. And I literally vividly remember this one time because there's a photo of me. Got to have been like 6, something like that. And I can just picture being there. And yeah, we just played with whatever was there. Yeah. Ghost stories and stuff.
That's all we do, isn't it?
Yeah. And then we'd move on from there to like a caravan park sometimes. And then we'd be there where
I don't think I ever.
We took like bikes and then they had like a bit of entertainment and stuff. So we did a lot of those like caravan sites as well. But yeah, we normally would start off roughing it.
Yeah.
First,
I loved it.
And then we'd meet up and then my mum would come and stuff.
But I didn't have any difference. So for me, it was just the best.
Yeah, so, no, I enjoyed that. I want to get into camping more now. Like say, Cason's at that age. He enjoyed it.
It's definitely.
And obviously, my mum and dad didn't. The last couple of years, they've had a camper van and they've done a lot with Cason.
Yeah.
More so taking him away on the weekends and stuff. So he loves
it,
camping.
doesn't he? That's right.
Camping.
He is.
Yeah.
He was telling you.
Yeah. Literally, they brought it so that we had it all there. And he's like, "Yep, this goes there, that goes there. This is how you do it." So no, I want to do more trips with the kids. I think it's not, like I say, it's great because they just all get on so well. So it's nice that they're technically forced to be friends because we're friends, but actually they all
They all get on
they
with
all
each
love
other.
each other. Yeah, it's great.
But like you say, as traditions go, like, well, if you say traditions, I think even with us not meaning to do it, but whether it was Easter or Christmas or
Yeah.
doing all these things to,
Yeah.
you know, like when it comes round to it, mine always would say,
Yeah.
are we doing our Christmas party this year? You know, which
Yeah.
is nice because,
Yeah.
you know,
We
that's
have done
the,
that in the last few years,
Yeah.
especially because I think, previously it'd be like random, but whereas I think we're getting more into the flow of actually
Yeah.
doing things more
it's
regularly.
easier. Well,
Yeah.
as the kids grew up saying before.
Yeah, no, I like our like Christmas parties, and then like I said, we've done Easter a couple of years now,
Yeah.
and then we done a trip to Madrid. That was our first like
That was
a
good.
time away.
was
Well, apart from camping, we did camping, but that didn't feel away because it's only half an hour.
I
up the
know,
road.
yeah. It does when you're there.
Yeah,
obviously,
when
but
you're
I know
there,
what
it
you
feels
mean.
away. But
Yeah.
so we did that one, and then we did Madrid with the kids in Warner Brothers.
That was really good.
That was fun. And you know, if I ask Kason what's your favourite holiday, bearing in mind I've took him to Dubai, my mum and dad have took him to Lapland, he says Madrid.
It's the company.
But no, it's good. Like you say, he loved it.
Yeah.
So
It's
no,
them are the
we did
things
all-
I used to, as a kid, like you say, be like, oh, we're going to
Yeah.
so and so's for Christmas Eve, you know.
You just want to be
I'd be
with other
gutted if we
people.
didn't go
Yeah.
because that was it. And then like you say, then I'd come home and I'd be allowed to have a present from under the tree on Christmas Eve before I went to
Yeah,
bed.
we did the same.
And it was pajamas.
Always pajamas. I don't
every
know
year.
why I didn't
I'd
clock
still
on.
get excited about
Yeah.
it though, and
Yeah.
mine still do the same, exactly the same. And this year I switched it up.
Did you?
Yeah, I didn't. Nothing more, any more exciting. It was like I think it was a selection box or chocolates or something like
No.
that. But I think they were so like, oh, we're going to get Christmas. I was like, oh, well, are you?
And not this year.
And I think secretly they were a little bit gutted that they didn't. You know what I mean? Because as much
They're
as you're
used
like,
to
I
it.
know what I'm getting, you still
Yeah.
get that excitement of I know I'm gonna.
What is it going to be like? And everyone's
Yeah,
patching
yeah.
and
So,
yeah.
yeah. As far as traditions go, I think, you know,
Yeah.
generally
We've
following
been
it
doing that.
without knowing it, but
Yeah.
and even between us, I think we're making our own.
Yeah.
You know, with our own kids.
Yeah.
As well.
No, it's good.
Yeah, I love it.
If you could relive one moment from the past, what would it be and why?
Relive one moment from the past. One. Just one.
Just one.
That's really hard because obviously without going too deep, I'd say obviously my grandparents and so on, so on, so on.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? If I had to relive my past, because there's so much with, like I just said, with, you know, like my borough or my grandparents and that kind of thing.
I think it's too hard to pick one moment.
That is a hard and then going back to if you're just going to go with us, our moments.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's so many.
Yeah,
but
I can't pick
couldn't
one moment.
choose. And then obviously if you're going to start getting real deep, obviously my children and things like that. But
yeah.
actually I wouldn't want to relive that, would I? I wouldn't want to relive. No, I want to relive.
Wouldn't want to relive
No,
them
no,
birth.
no, actually. I love you all, but I want to relive it. Yeah, that's a really hard question.
Yeah, no, I don't think
I
I
don't
can
want
even
to
answer
it
that.
because I'd be here forever. Because I'm like, no, because I want to do that, and then I'll do that, and then I'll do that. Well, harder making decisions as it is.
Yeah.
Dinner. That's one hard decision making.
God, don't even get us started. That's the bane of our lives. Hate picking dinner.
Yeah, no, I can't answer that. That's a really hard one. I'll probably say over every podcast that, oh, I love this. This is my favorite. This is my favorite. So
yeah.
Yeah,
no, one moment. I don't think there's anything in my life that's just one moment that stands out.
No, same to me, because then I think of something else.
Like I say, instantly you go back to getting married or having kids.
Yeah. Or moments that you say you can't do it, like grandparents and things like that.
Yeah, exactly. That's too hard. I can't answer that one.
All right, don't get too deep. Don't bleed it out.
What's one piece of advice you would give your younger self?
Oh, I don't know if I would. I think she needs to give me advice now. Because, yeah, I think.
All right. So, what would her advice be to you now? Then, what would you take from her?
Probably don't overthink like stuff.
That's funny because I would give my advice to her, but my younger self
to not overthink stuff.
Just take the pressure off, like
as young.
Yeah.
See, I think I'm the other way around. When I was young,
you didn't care.
I didn't really care about anything.
Yeah.
Although I loved my friends and everyone around my family.
Yeah.
But I was also very like, well, I'm just going to do what I do. That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Some people may think I wasn't kind in that way, and other people may have seen me in a different way if she was, the other way.
I think because I can see how different people would have seen you differently.
Sometimes if you're my friend,
Because
you're
if
my
you're
best friend.
that's
You know
what I
I'm saying?
mean.
And if you're not,
then
then I don't
you
really
can
like
come you can come across a bit cold but the
Yeah,
people that know
because
you
I
know
just feel
you
like,
then
well, even now I still say it, don't I? I don't
Yeah.
want any friends.
Yeah. I'm happy with my
Yeah, I
friends.
do end up still meeting
Yeah.
people, and I'm just not as probably open.
Yeah.
You love a new friend, you know. So, and you
Yeah.
even more. You like a good conversation. You wouldn't necessarily go into big
Yeah.
that friend,
Yeah.
but you know. Whereas I'd be like, nah, I'm all right.
Yeah.
I'm over here with my friends. Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's funny you said that because I never really thought about that, but I can see why, yeah, people that wouldn't know you
And not
or that are in your
caring.
circle would maybe see you like that.
I
But
mean,
the
it's not
truth is,
caring. That sounds a bit rude, actually, because it's good to care.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I think I was just a lot more relaxed. But then I suppose, my personality back then
Yeah.
was, I think it was a good thing because
Yeah.
of everything that I had to kind of
It's
do.
hard because, like I say, you wouldn't want to change anything
No.
because you wouldn't be where you are now if you changed anything from back then. So in a way, I wouldn't, but in another way, I feel like there's
You've got a
probably
little
some
whisper, like, just chill.
yeah, some
kind of thing.
moments it's like, yeah, care, like
Yeah.
put in a lot of effort and like push yourself and like use that pressure in a good way
Yeah.
so that you know, get where you want to get to. But it's all going to work out. So don't
Yeah.
panic too much.
Yeah.
Don't let it like, I wouldn't say all the time, but there's probably some moments that I probably didn't enjoy as much as I could have done if
Yeah.
I'd have just took the pressure off a little bit.
Yeah. Which is probably what I do now more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I try, although I don't, like you say, I'd have to have a pep talk to myself.
Yeah.
But back then I would never have had to do that.
Yeah.
Would never even thought,
Yeah.
overthought, and just not even
Yeah.
thought it, let alone overthought.
Yeah.
Just
But it's one of the reasons why I got my first tattoo. I think I was 24, my first tattoo. Because again, overthink it. So it took me that long to pick what I wanted. But
I got mine first.
but it says worry less, smile more.
Yeah.
And it is like I say, I wouldn't change who I am or how I do things with my process, but just like push yourself, care, you know, drive, whatever. But then at the end of the day, just enjoy it because it's all going to work out.
Yeah, exactly.
And whatever doesn't work out wasn't supposed to work out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as long as everyone's happy and healthy.
So worry less, smile more.
Like that one.
It's a good motto.
What did you just say?
Worry less.
I was just about to say it to the camera and I couldn't remember what you say. See, if you script me, I'm shit.
Worry less, smile less.
Smile more.
I think we'll use this as a good one for our last question of the day.
Go on, go for it.
How do you define success at this stage of life? Because I think that's changed probably for maybe what it would have been in our 20s to what it is in our 30s.
Again, I think this would be a different answer for everyone in their own life.
That's what I mean. Everyone thinks success is one thing, but it's different for everyone. I think people are a bit more open to what success means to me. It's different now. So people used to think it was that job, that title, that money, that car, that house.
Yeah.
But that's not success anymore.
I mean, I'm proud of where I've come in my career because I didn't finish school, the norm way or whatever, and I did have to really work hard to get to where I am. So I'm not the most clever person, if you want to put it that way. I did really have to work for it,
Yeah.
Not that everyone doesn't work for it, but like it doesn't just come to me easy, if you know what I mean.
It's hard work.
Like I say, I'm proud that I've done that, but I think for me now, I think again, if you'd asked me like 5 years ago, it might be a different thing. Now it's that I'm earning a living for myself. I'm spending time with my children. My children are happy in their life. Me and my partner are happy.
Yeah.
My friendship, my family. I think that's successful, isn't it? I think we've got a roof over our head. It doesn't matter if. I think it's a brilliant thing and such an achievement if you do. But it doesn't change if you own a house or you don't own a house or you're self-employed or not self-employed. I think my home, wherever that is, with our unit is happy. And I think that to me is success, and that goes on to my parents and my in-laws and everything like that. Nieces, nephews, on and on. So that would, because I think if it's all right if you've got everything, whether it's financially, material, whatever. Yeah. But if you're not happy, with in your life, or your partner's not happy, or your friend, I just feel like everyone around me is so happy. and doing well, that yeah, that's
definitely.
yeah. What are you?
Same really. Like I say, I think it's shifted. Like in my 20s, I would have probably been a bit more, you know, the job title that I had, how much money I was earning, because that's kind of what I've always strived for and what I've always worked hard for.
But like you say, at that time it was.
At that time, that's kind of what in my head I grew up thinking was success, was
And
having
it's
the
still
house,
success,
having the
it's
car,
just
having the job and all of that.
what you
But
prefer.
along the way, realizing, it's how happy you are in all those things. So it doesn't have to be the house you thought, the car you thought, or anything like that. It is everything around you. Exactly what you said, really. Obviously, being financially comfortable helps. That is part of, I think, being successful.
Well, yeah,
Not
because
necessarily having it all, but not having the worry
Yeah.
about things.
So we've you know, like you say, what was nothing gets given on a plate. We've done what we've had to do in different ways with different challenges along the way.
Yeah.
And I think, like you say, if you'd asked me back then, it would have been I did a different answer. But right now, my success is that my children are happy and doing well.
Yeah. You enjoy what you do for a living as well. You're not doing a job that you hate.
Yeah. Love my job.
Yeah. Definitely.
People might not the same about coming to see me. They will when they leave the room, I promise. But yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think now I've got to a point where I've got a really nice balance. I really, like, since going back from maternity leave, I've changed my job a little bit. I'm really enjoying that. I think it's what I'm really good at. So, and it's what I really enjoy as well. So I'm happy with work. I'm happy with the balance. I'm happy with, like I say, the house we've got, making it a home and everything like that goes with it. And being able to have the time and the money to make memories and stuff. And like just having happy, healthy kids and a relationship. I think I probably used to take my relationship for granted a little bit. Never him in our relationship, but just because we've been together so long, like obviously, just having a relationship that is happy and healthy, that we enjoy, that we want to be in. Like when I see other people that don't have that, then it
makes you, like you say, appreciate.
It makes you appreciate what you've got. But I don't think I've always done that. I think I kind of took that for granted because we're just together and obviously we're going to stay together and like it is what it is. But no, like you do have to work in a relationship to make it continually be what you want it to be. But just appreciating what I've got. I think I've took my foot off the gas a little bit. Still got things that I want to do and want to achieve, and I know I'll get there. But I feel like
you're not going to be just working at the speed you did it originally, like initially.
I'm more grateful for what I've got.
You know, again,
along the way,
you've got to do that to get where you to get.
I think I'll always do that. No matter what I've got, I'll always do that. But I think I'm doing it in a healthier way, in that I'm actually like enjoying what I've been able to build and be grateful for that while I. I think I saw it the other day, and it was like, be happy and content with what you've got while you're working for what you want. And I feel like I've got that now.
Good. That's exactly the balance everyone should try to get to.
We'll finish there, I think. That was good.
That's nice.
Hopefully everyone got to know us a little bit more. And we'll catch you guys next week.
See you next week.
Bye.